How to make a dishing stump. Most of the newer pieces of armor that I'm making require some dishing, and you can make that with this very simple and humble little tool. I guess you call it a tool, called a dishing stump. Mine was a little bit beat up, so I decided to make a new one and show you guys how to do it, because a lot of you guys are asking. As you can see, it's a big improvement over my last one. This project is almost completely free, so grab your chisels and let's get started. This is locust wood, I think, just a stump. I think it's locust. I don't know. I'm not a botanist, but I know if you put water on plants, they'll grow. The measurement is whatever you want it to be. Mine is about 11 by 15. I wanted it to have about the same curvature as the dishing form that I have, so I made some measurements and did a little math and figured out how to do this at the right sizes and depth. As you can see, I'm measuring about every inch and taking that measurement and putting it onto the wood. And my center is 1 inch deep, and you can see 1 inch in is 7/8, 3/4, and of course 0 at the ends. I've made the same corresponding marks on the wood itself, and I've traced them out with a compass, and I've put a marker down so that you can see the marks too. Here I've got a piece of tape on a drill bit that's going to stop me from going too deep. This is my first hole, the deepest hole in the center, 1 inch. And now I've got a different piece of tape on, marked 7/8. And I'm going to just drill in around this circle. And this does not have to be perfect, guys. A dishing stump is not always a perfect parabolic sphere, so just as long as it's pretty close, you can make it work. Now I've got the outsides done, but there's some wood that we got to clear out of the inside here, so I'm going to use the same 7/8 drill bit and just kind of clear away some of this wood. Now of course it'll be a little bit deeper in this area in the end, but we're not too worried about that right now. Now I've got a 3/4 inch mark taped off, and I'll do the outer circle, or almost the outer circle. The outer circle obviously is a 0 measurement. Again, I'm going to clear out some of this wood by using the 3/4 inch drill bit again. It's 3/4 inch deep, not 3/4 inch drill bit. I think it's like a 1/2 inch or a little less drill bit, maybe 3/8. Doesn't matter, you can make anything work. I'm just clearing away the wood. This is very hard wood, so it's a lot to drill it away and cut it away. Now I've just got a regular chisel, and I'm just going to chip away a lot of this wood in between these holes. I find if you chisel with the grain, as opposed to against the grain like I'm doing here, if you do it this way, you'll get a lot of chunks that come out. If you do it the other way, which you'll see me doing a little bit later, it doesn't come out so chunky. This is a grinding wheel in a handheld grinder. I didn't get really good results with this, but it's one more way to do it. You could also do this with a chainsaw if you have one. That's probably the easiest way to make this work. And you wouldn't even necessarily have to do any drilling if you use a chainsaw. You can just do it by hand, by eye. As you can see, you got some. We can still see the drill marks here, so we're going to keep on digging and keep on going. But we can also try and work it with a hammer to try to get some of these higher spots down. So just go to town on it, and the really deep spots you won't be able to get out, so you can still see some of the drill marks there. Now again, I'm going back to the grinding wheel, and you can see it kind of burns or scorches the surface, so it's actually easier to see the drill marks, so you know you're going to go a little further. And here I'm going against the grain like I was telling you before. This way it doesn't chunk out as bad, so it's a lot easier. Well, it's not easier, but it's a lot easier on the wood. Now I've got a flap disc, and this is the way I basically finished off what I was working on. Once I get the depth pretty close, I just hit it with this until all of the marks that I left with a chisel and the drill bit are gone. And there you go. There's the dished portion of the stump. Looks awesome. Hopefully works awesome too. Also, I'm going to wrap this piece of scrap metal around it. I've got some holes drilled in it, and I just bend it around there and screw it into the sides. This is to ensure it doesn't split open, and you can leave it to your grandkids. It'll last forever. Of course, they might think you're some kind of weirdo for leaving them a piece of wood when you die, but, you know, when you're old, you can be crazy like that. So, it's all good. And just drill in, or screw in the sides of this thing, and we are done. Sweet. Looks awesome, should work awesome too. Very proud of this thing. I really needed to replace the old one, and I'm glad I did this. I've got a lot of questions on this thing still, so wanted to make sure you guys knew how I built it. Here is my Throatless shear. Some people call this a Beverly shear, but Beverly is a company, not a tool. This is a copy of their very popular B1 shear. There's a link to get this below in the description below on my tools page on armortemplates.com. Here it comes out of the box, just like this, covered in some nasty smelly grease. But once you wipe all that off, it looks good and smells okay. Ugh, gross. Anyway, here it is. This is actually the same exact one that Eastwood sells for a lot cheaper. It's like $30 or $40 cheaper. I have it mounted in these 3 holes, and it's just a temporary mount, so I'm just going to use it like this. I don't want to keep it permanently mounted. These are the blades, and as long as you adjust them properly, they work just great. Cuts through anything up to, I think, 14 gauge steel. This is the adjustment. You want to move this when you're cutting very thick steel. You want to move it out so there's a bit more gap than there is here now. Right now there's no gap at all. And as you can see, it cuts through steel just like butter. It's going to make all of these projects so much better. I don't know why I waited this long to buy this thing. I'm so happy I got it. And Eastwood says that theirs is better because it can cut paper. Well, guess what? This one cuts paper too. Very well, as a matter of fact. So, your move, Eastwood. So check out the link below, and you'll see I have this on my website, armortemplates.com, and you can get this for pretty cheap, a little over $100 I think, 130 or so. Very handy if you're into this kind of thing. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe, guys, and I will see you next time.